Hello everyone and welcome to Angie Talks TV, where you'll see reality TV show reviews, crime stories, and stories on real life experiences. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
This is how you know people don't know how to mind their business. It's a regular neighbor, regular neighbor, regular neighbor. And this is just the nosiest neighbor in the world, doesn't know how to mind their fucking business.
Hello everyone and welcome. Have you ever had a time that you had a long day at work and you wanted to go home and relax? Well, that's pretty much me every day that I work, and the last thing I want to think about is a crazy neighbor. Well, the lady in this video had to deal with just that, and it's quite frustrating when you feel like no one hears you and is trying to resolve your issue. Let's take a listen and see if she had her crazy neighbor issue resolved or if it's still an ongoing issue. And if you enjoy my videos of problematic neighbors, also check out the Nightmare Neighbor Storytime on my channel as well. And then head on over to her TikTok and give her a follow. Let's get started.
I fear I have a crazy neighbor. This is not good at all. I got a notification that there was someone at my doorbell. I was not home, and when I looked on my doorbell camera, there was someone trying to yank open my door. So I talk through the camera and I say, "Hello, can I help you?" The lady was like, "Is Jared here? I need to speak to Jared." I was like, "Sorry, Jared doesn't live here." She was like, "Well, then where the F does Jared live?" She's like yelling, and I was like, "I don't know a Jared. I don't know where Jared lives." I was like, "Girlie, I don't know a Jared, but he's not here, doesn't live here." And she was like, "Is this Frida?" And I was like, "No, this is not Frida." So she leaves. Comes back 15 minutes later. Same thing, wiggling my doorknob. Again, I said, "Can I help you?" She said, "Frida, I need to speak to Frida and Jared." I said, "Again, you got the wrong house. It's not me. Can you please leave?" So they leave. And then the next day, I go outside to go on a walk and there's a box on my porch. It's like an Amazon box and it has duct tape on it. It wasn't addressed to me. I was like, what's in here? So I opened it up. It was a plant, which was nice. Next to the plant, there was a bottle of liquid and then 6 coffee cups. So I look at my doorbell camera and it has the same lady coming and leaving the stuff on my porch. I rinse the bottle of liquid out, I take the coffee cups and everything, I leave a note. I said, "Thank you so much, I don't need anything, but thank you for the gesture, I appreciate it," and I put it back on her porch. Because on the doorbell camera, I saw exactly where she was coming from. And then, that same night, another box was left on my porch. This time, it had a trash bag in it, and in that trash bag was chicken wings. Fried chicken wings in a trash bag. And I got to thinking, I was like, is this a nice gesture? I don't know. The next morning, I come outside and there's a bunch of stuff lined up on my garage. Again, this is all on my cameras. Up against my garage, there's 2 full-size mirrors. There's a circle round mirror and then a bunch of artwork lined up all across my garage. Not mine. I checked the camera. 10 p.m. at night, someone's wandering around my driveway, lining up all of their furniture, taking from their garage and putting it in front of mine. So in the morning, I move everything and put it on the side of their house. It's not mine. No one asked if I wanted it. You don't just leave stuff outside a stranger's house. Then, the next day, I open my garage to pull out, and I heard a crunching sound. I go to look, and there's glass shards lined up all along my driveway. And then there's a trash bag full of stuff sitting next to it. So I called the cops, called the HOA. They're sorting it out. But what in the world? This is insane. On today's episode of My Crazy Neighbor, we have a whole bunch of stuff she left outside, so let's go see what we got today. Wow, look at all of this. We have old moldy spinach. We have some random plants stuff in here. Corn. This is an empty gallon of milk, an empty gallon of yogurt stuff, and some old clothes, half a bag of flour. This is insane, and I don't know what to say. They've given her multiple citations. She's renting, so I guess they've gone to the homeowner. This is crazy. And everyone's saying it could be mental health stuff. I totally get it. She could have dementia, Alzheimer's, or just have a psychotic break. According to the owners of the house, they said that is not true. The cops said she's mentally stable as well. So there's like literally no reason for any of this, and it's just like not stopping. And I think it's just frustrating because this stuff is left outside my house and I'm not gonna pick it up. I'm not gonna touch it. There's a huge box. There's so much stuff out there and I'm not gonna touch it. And I've asked her to stop. It's just not stopping. On today's episode of My Crazy Neighbor, you guys didn't believe me, so I have all the videos here for you. That first bag was fried chicken. Alright, in this box we had a bunch of open food containers and then a loaf of bread on top. So nice, so sweet. Okay, and then this was the next day after. Look, she brought over a whole bunch of clothes on hangers, just random stuff. The next one, this is the funny one. This is where she's pacing back and forth along my driveway and put glass behind it. And she's just dropping off a trash bag over there too, just for funsies. I didn't go outside and pick up those bags of clothes because I was told not to by the cops and the HOA. So the next day, she just brought some more stuff over too. This was the one I just posted about that had a bunch of like rotten eaten food and then half a bag of flour. You'll love this one. You may be wondering why she has duct tape in her hand. Well, let me tell you, she started duct taping my doors, my windows, and then here's the kicker. Are you guys ready? Let's see what she tapes next. My camera. So sweet of her. Well, you guys want a crazy neighbor update? I called the cops, called the HOA. The HOA gave her a citation. Cops talked to her, told her to knock the shit off. Well, I just got home from taking my daughter to school, and there was a lovely gift on my front porch. A whole bunch of open food containers, open bottles, a whole bunch of trash, and then a loaf of bread on top. I'm not touching any of these boxes. The HOA is on their way over right now to get the box, bring it back over, and tell her to get the shit out and give another citation. They're also gonna grab the rest of the stuff because there's a trash bag outside my house that's hers as well. And the funny thing is all of this is on camera, so there's no denying it's her, there's no excuses. And she does not own the property, she's currently renting it. So initially the HOA was having a problem getting in touch with her because they had to talk to the owners who had to talk to her. But now they're in touch with her. And in the meantime, I just don't know what to do. I do have a very good security system, we're good on that end. It's always armed, doors, everything's always locked. I do think it's some kind of mental health thing, or she is maybe a little elderly. Doesn't look like that old though. Either way, someone needs to take care of it.
I initially thought this too. That's why I gave her so many chances. And the first 5 times she was leaving stuff fine. But when it escalated to putting glass shards all along my driveway and then duct taping my doors, my windows, my camera, too much. The police have reconfirmed multiple times this is not mental health. Her family has confirmed this is not mental health. I have literally done nothing to her. I've had 2 conversations with her ever. 1, when I very first moved in, introduced myself. 2, was the first time she left stuff and I asked her politely to stop. It's purely vindictive. And to answer everyone's questions, no one has lived here before. It's a brand new build house I'm living in. She is renting the one next door. So after the whole duct taping my property incident, the cops came, HOA came. Cops said that it is trespassing and harassment and vandalism. HOA and owners of that house came and they did a formal eviction. That was on September 16th and it was a 10-day eviction. She has no intention of moving out. She is here for good. So I don't know what happens next in the eviction process because she has no moving boxes, nothing. And the other day, tried leaving more stuff outside my house again. Thankfully, my doorbell camera alerted me. So I texted the HOA lady and I was like, hey, she's leaving stuff outside my house now. She's like, oh, I'm on property. I'll come on over. I'll do part 2 to this with all the videos of her and the HOA lady from the other day. On today's episode of My Crazy Neighbor, she was formally evicted. The HOA was here, homeowners, and the police came, and she was given the formal eviction. And then the very next day, she comes to leave more stuff outside my house. The doorbell camera alerted me. I texted the HOA lady and I was like, hey, she's leaving stuff outside right now. She's like, great, I'm on property, headed over. And here's the videos from that for your viewing pleasure.
Yes, and so is your neighbor's porch.
Okay, how can I do that?
Because it's in your lease.
It's not in the lease. Go show me the lease and then I will.
Well, I know that they emailed you about the lease, but it's all in your lease.
So you can push the vocal because
We did already call the police. You cannot. This is not your property. You don't own this, and you're a renter. This is the homeowners association. Manage it all here.
how did you see me? Because I'm wondering, do you have cameras?
We do.
Where are those cameras?
There's cameras throughout the community, and some of the neighbors on the board.
I'm right here.
This is not your property. Your property only for your renter, for you, the owner.
Okay, what I'm saying is you have
Since then, has not left anything around my house, but that was after the police came 3 times. And her main question of all of it was, how do you guys see me? How are you seeing me? Are there cameras? Yeah, there's cameras. You covered mine, and there's cameras all over. But happy to share, for now, it has stopped. And we'll see if she leaves on her eviction date.
Okay, and hopefully that the lady doesn't have any more problems from that neighbor. But I'm trying to understand, how would the cop, the HOA, or the neighbor's family know whether or not if her neighbor has any mental illness? I mean, unless they're licensed therapists, how would they know? I mean, that's very odd behavior. You know, just because a person behaves in a way you think is normal doesn't mean they do not have mental illness. Before I say this is not to offend anyone, but in Haitian voodoo, I know that some of the things that is done to communicate with spirits or ancestors is that they leave food or candles or something symbolic at a person's door. I mean, I know that goes beyond Haitian cultures, but you know, that's just some of the things that I know that does happen. Because I noticed when the HOA lady was talking to the neighbor, I heard that she sounded to have an accent, and it sounded somewhat of a Haitian accent. So that could be, could be why. You never know what that lady's dealing with, so who knows. The other thing I'm trying to understand, why is the HOA not resolving this issue? Why does this lady have to be calling the police and calling them? Why are they not checking with her to make sure this issue is resolved? She's a paying tenant. I'm sure she's probably paying HOA fees in addition to her rent. So they should be resolving this issue for her and checking on her to make sure that that lady has not returned to her door. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.